Welcome back, everybody, to part 3 of my Let's Play of Alleyway for the Game Boy, requested to me by my great friend, uh, Billy MC, one of the greatest LPers on YouTube. And this is the game that he requested, and he's a fan of this game. And there's nothing wrong if you're a fan of this game. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of this game at all. But, I'm a huge fan of Arkanoid. And that was an amazing game, and I love Arkanoid. Arkanoid was awesome, and Billy MC said that it was kind of like a breakout Arkanoid type game, like clone of that, and I was like, oh, okay. But I just want you to know, Billy, and everybody out there on YouTube, that I'm not upset at Billy. Don't get me wrong, and I want this to be, a message to everybody that I do take requests. So don't be afraid to request games for me to LP. And it's totally awesome. But there are some games I would not LP. I only LP Game Boy games. Uh, Even with the contest stuff with Billy MC, our contest videos, which we just did Paperboy 2 for the Game Boy. He was playing Paperboy 1, and I was like, Paperboy 2 for the Nintendo, and I was like, and I was like, are you playing the NES version? He was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, I was gonna go play the Game Boy one, because he knows I only do LPs of Game Boy games, and he's very kind and generous and gracious to do Game Boy games for our contests, for a little LP contest. Like he's actually really cool, because I bet you anything anybody else would be like, no, can we do a Sega Genesis game, or can we do a 3DO game, or an arcade game, or a Super Nintendo game? But no, Billy actually does understand that I only like to do LPs of Game Boy games, and doing the contest games on Game Boy, is awesome, because it makes me feel like I'm back in the days of when I first got my Game Boy, and all my friends were like, "Oh man, what was your highest score in Tetris?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it was like 48,000," and everyone's like, "Oh man, I totally beat that," and we all like have high score contests. And that it reminds me so much of that, and it pretty much is that, and it's actually really awesome that Billy's really understanding like that. So, Billy, I just want you to know, no hard feelings whatsoever. You suggested this game. You're a big fan of this game. You said you love this game. You said, but I want you to know that this game, it now that I calmed down, it is a good game. Uh, it's just lacking. It's lacking music, and it's lacking continues and bosses. This game the one thing I think this game needed was bosses. You know, going up against like a Bowser boss, and using the ball to hit him to kill him and stuff like that would be awesome. I think that would be pretty sweet. Don't get me wrong, but they did what they did. I'm a lot mellower now, so thank God for my good friend, Mr. Jack Daniels. Oh, but stage 11, hey, at least we're almost there, you guys. At least, honestly, we're almost there, because, oh god, can you imagine this was a 100 level game? The funny thing is, I actually had to research how many levels were actually in this game, because when I first played it, I did up to the first 3 levels, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, okay, alright. First 3 videos, I was like, okay, it's a high score game, kind of like Kicks. And then I looked it up on GameFAQs, and it was like, and that they said that there's apparently 24 levels of this game, and I was like, what? And I was on level 11, and I was like, are you telling me there's 13 more levels? And I looked up on GameFAQs, and there are a lot of people who give this game, who hate this game, who gave it such a low rating and stuff like that. And wait, was it that? Or was it Wikipedia I was reading on? I'm all confused now. Wikipedia said all these video game magazines gave such a low review. Uh, and it's pretty funny though that they would actually do that, because it's true. But the GameFAQs, I believe, actually, I think people actually liked it on GameFAQs. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. Go check it out for yourself, and then write a comment in the box. But yeah, Yeah, so I do apologize that there's no sound effects. I do know one of my other I think one of my subscribers posted on one of my Kicks videos where it's like DaveyGB, just go with the flow, let the music play, like kind of I think maybe he was just saying like you don't have to talk all the time, but or just take it easy, not worry about it. But I do apologize, good sir. I hope you're still watching these videos or you're still subscribed to me because there is no music in this game except for like a 3 second like loop of bad chime music. But yeah, so sound effects everywhere, but not enough to actually make a melody out of. True. No, and no, I'm not a smoker. I'm just like kind of getting over like a touch of I think I might have had like a bit of a head cold, so. And I do want you guys to know that that I whenever it's like a game over in later videos, I want you guys to know. Sorry, I want you guys to know I did not save states. I never save stated. I played this game all the way through. That's why it took me 3 shifts to do it. And oh man, really, yeah. But it took me 3 shifts to do it. It took me all day. This was my day to my girlfriend and I would give each other days, to do whatever we want. Because you don't want to do everything with your girlfriend or if you have a boyfriend every day. So yesterday and today were our days, and I chose today to play Breakout. See, Alleyway, and I feel so ripped off of my Saturday, and this is my first real Saturday off in a long time, and I just feel so sad now. But you know what though? It's okay. It's only a day. It's only a game. It's just the way the cards are drawn. I guess you got to learn how to fold them. No, learn how to hold them. Learn how to fold them. Learn how to walk away when the dealing's done. Yeah, I'm not gonna sing the song, so nobody worry. But it's kind of like that. I should have just walked away. I honestly think, I'm actually wondering, what would happen, like if I were to stop at a game over instead of playing all the way through, would that make me technically not an LPer? Because I know LPers, you play a game and you're supposed to play the whole game, or you could just take a break from it and come back to it down the road. I've never done that except for Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy. That was one game that I wanted to LP, and it took me 2 or 3 times to actually get I tried to LP it, and I couldn't do it, and I walked away from it, and none of the videos have ever been released on YouTube. But it's just one of those things where it's you're doing an LP and you don't feel you don't feel the magic. You should just walk away, right? Because you're not going to give it your all. But maybe I should have walked away from this one. It's like high school with that really hot girl that you have a crush on, and she's cute, she's smart, she's funny, she laughs at all your jokes, but you're too afraid to ask her out, and then and then you wonder on your graduation day if you should have asked her out or not. So you're about to go ask her out, and but before that, before you actually do it, she has she's going on a date with the guy, and you can't go back in time and take that back. Am I right, you guys? Am I right? It's kind of like that movie Can't Hardly Wait, and I think the guy, the jerk jock on that movie, who's pretty funny actually. He was pretty funny in the movie. And this is where my first. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. And here's the first break coming up that I took, and now we're back. It's funny though because the guy who played the jerk jock in that movie Can't Hardly Wait. I believe now he he plays the father on the Twilight series, which is actually pretty funny because he was like this total badass in the movie, right? It was awesome. But I'm glad he lost Jennifer Love Hewitt in that movie. I swear to God, Billy MC knows what I'm talking about. So Billy, if you're watching this video series that I tortured myself with today, please do comment and say yes, I do remember that movie, DaveyGB. So the weather today in Edmonton was pretty nice. I believe it was +3 today, and this is just after like a week and a half of us actually getting a really terrible snowstorm for past like week. It was up to like I believe 30 centimeters, and I know I was asked this by a few of my subscribers on the comments section of my channel, asking me was I from Vancouver. I am not from Vancouver. I am from Edmonton. Edmonton, yes, Edmonton. Oil City, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I think Calgary's more Oil City than actually Edmonton. Edmonton's more like heavy industrial type stuff. I work in the Edmonton industrial area, so yeah, it's just my thing. Machine operator, rolling coils of like steel that weigh like 8 ton to form different items and like objects for construction companies. It's what I do for a living. It's a good job. I don't hate it. Sometimes I go crazy, kind of like what I did with this game, where I was just like going crazy, and so just so repetitive. And this game reminds me a lot of work actually. So yeah. So I never use any save states. There's no continues in this game whatsoever. You think there would have been continues, like they could have had continues, but they did, and that just really ticks me off though. You got a game like this. I believe even Super Mario Land. I think that might have had continues too. Uh, I'm not sure if it did. It's understandable. It's a Mario Brothers game, but this game should have at least had continues. Like, how hard is it like to get a game over in stage 15 and then like use a continue and brings you back to stage 15 with 0 points? How hard is it to do that? Like a lot of games now have every game now has continues. All the Super Mario Brothers games for the NES had continues. I don't know, maybe the first one didn't, but yeah, I think you had to hold down the A button at the game over screen. I don't know, but I'm looking way too much into this. Don't those blue blocks there kind of look like mountains, like in Oregon, in the beautiful state of Oregon? Like isn't that just so beautiful and breathtaking? That looks like a seagull. See, right there, a seagull. Or if you're perverted, a pair of breasts. But you know what though? If you think like that, you're a pervert. I'm just joking. I thought it too, you guys. It's okay. It's okay. Like, why are there no power ups? Why isn't there no way to like become like a full size like paddle again? Like, why do you like shrink down to half the size when you hit the ceiling? Like, what's up with that? I could understand if you're like if there was like a specific block that if you hit that it would downgrade you to like a smaller paddle, but and you hit that, then you become a smaller paddle for the rest of the level. I can understand that, but why the ceiling? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, and look, it's the exact same level. Well, that's it for this video, you guys. Stay tuned for part 4 of my Let's Play of Alleyway. So I guess I'll see you guys around. Take care. Avita san, au revoir, sayonara, arrivederci. Yeah. And I hope you guys like haven't like stopped watching this series because I want to prove to the world that I actually did beat this game. So I'm DaveyGB signing off. Good night, everybody. God bless America.